Hello everyone, this is Daniel Lee. I'm here with another Innistrad Dark Ascension draft. I opened a pretty good pack here. The best cards in the pack are the foil Fires of Undeath, which I think is going to be the pick for me. Followed closely by Loyal Cathar is quite good, Hollow Hinge Spirit is good, but not as good as either of these two, I don't think. Gather the Townsfolk is also good, but yeah, I think I'm just going to be happy with a foil Fires of Undeath. Seems pretty good. This deck, puts you into black-red ideally, which is an archetype I like a lot, and then, it can also be good in flashback decks, or, you can splash either half of it. And now here are more good blue and white cards, but I love decks with multiple Fires of Undeath in them. They're insane, always, so I'm going to take another Fires, and be pretty happy about it. Also, I have a hunch that when you get a foil card, the fact that, and like a non-foil card, you draw both of them more because they're both singletons in a way. I don't know. Magic Online is weird like that, where I feel like if you have singletons in your deck, you're much more likely to draw them than you are to draw, like, say, your 4-ofs. Here, I think there's no reason to really move out of red, so I think it's either going to be an Erdwald Ripper or a Rack with Madness. And I think maybe Rack with Madness is probably the pick here. I don't think I'm going to get a Stromkirk Captain at this point. I might, but that kind of makes me, not so anxious to go into red-black. Or, not red-black, but, like, vampire kind of build. So I think I might just take a Rack with Madness here. Cost sort this. I mean, 3, like, 2 very solid and 1, like, solid removal spell is definitely a good place to be. I mean, it's definitely possible I should have just taken the creature, but I do like removal. It is, good. And here there's a Pyreheart Wolf or a Wild Hunger, and I think I'm just going to take Pyreheart Wolf, because I think Wild Hunger is a better card, but I would ideally like to be red-black instead of red-green, and Pyreheart Wolf is very good, so I'm just going to grab him. This makes me wish I maybe took Erdwald Ripper, because things like Erdwald Ripper are very good with him, because, you attack, and then they can't really block everything. So if they want to kill the Pyreheart Wolf, they have to block 8 with multiple guys, and it gets pretty nasty. A lot of the time, they'll also only have, like, one guy out, so then you can play a, Pyreheart Wolf and get in there with him and, like, Blood Crazed Neonate even. It's always good. Yeah, double Fires, that's always a good place to be. Yeah, and I think I'm just going to take a Torchfiend. I like this guy. He's, not insane, but he is kind of like a Geist Flame. He's less good, but yeah, that's kind of what he reminds me of, because you can kind of kill something small, and then you can also kill another small thing if they, like, attack you or something. Or a lot of the time, I've seen this guy get Geist Flamed, which was kind of cool, like, after I got value with him. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's not great with Pyreheart Wolf, but he is just more removal, so I do potentially have the ability to, burn the crap out of things. And, this is good if, like, I hit, like, a 4-5 with Rack with Madness. You can, for 5 mana, you go, get it, 1 more mana, and then play this guy. I apologize if I'm not making a whole lot of sense. I've had kind of a long day, but I wanted to get a draft before I, hit the sack. And so far, I'm pretty happy with this draft. I like decks that have Fires of Undeath. I think I mentioned that. Because, again, they put me into black, kind of, even without even really needing to go into black. So now if I get any good black cards, I can take them. And black is my favorite color in this format because it's just so deep. Like, it's good with every color but green, and it's even fine with green. And it, it can be super aggressive. It can be, like, very attrition-like and game-ending, and it has a lot of insane rares. Like, yeah, it's a place I like to be. And Fires puts you beautifully into black. Whereas it's even a little more awkward when you're drafting the black deck and you have Fires, because it kind of puts you into, wow. As I'm talking about black, I mean, there's a Briarpack Alpha or a Highborn Ghoul, and, like, I really do want to be black to play these Fires of Undeath, and, like, Briarpack Alpha is really good, but I don't think I've been seeing a whole lot of green, so I think I'm just going to take a Highborn Ghoul. That could be very incorrect, because I think Briarpack Alpha is a lot better. It's just, I really do like Highborn Ghoul, and I am going to be playing some black mana for Fires of Undeath. Like, you kind of have to. This card's just so nuts when you can flash it back. And they have to play with the constant, like, reminder that at some point you could just kill one of their guys. So that screws up their attackers, that screws up their blockers, like, yeah. You definitely want black in your deck with Fires. And I've definitely, I've seen, kind of on that same note, I've seen people make some pretty mean misplays because I had Fires, and, like, they knew about it, but they still, like, blocked in such a way, or, did something in such a way that made it really terrible. I think I'm going to take Erdwald Ripper here. There is a Kessig Recluse, so I guess there is some green. Yeah, I guess it's that same pick over again, right? Well, I don't think I'm going to be playing this foil Avacyn's Collar. I mean, this is kind of good, but I think here I'm just going to take another Erdwald Ripper past that Kessig Recluse, which is quite good, but Erdwald Ripper, I think I like this guy more than most people. Just, you can get in there so easily with him, and if they know you have one in your deck, too, people who try and play around it can also get very punished. So I'm not a huge fan of Blood Feud, but this might be a Blood Feud deck. Just have a ton of removal and like Erdwald Rippers, which if they get in there, they just kill you despite being 3-drops. I think that's a fine place to be. Like, this is when I would take a Blood Feud. I very rarely play with this card, but I think at this point, yeah, it's fine. And, ooh, here's a Torch Fiend. I actually like Torch Fiend a lot. He's just a solid, like, 2-drop, beats down. It's good in this kind of deck. He can also trigger Morbid really easily. And he's nice utility, too. He's kind of like the opposite of Silver Chase Fox, Kill a artifact instead of an enchantment. Although the Fox is better, probably. And here I'll take a Near Heat Stalker. This is actually a fine man in this deck. Again, he beats down really good, especially if they have no creatures, which might not be that. This is ridiculous. Okay, so I mean, I guess I might have been able to have a pretty sweet green deck, but I like where I'm at here, actually, more than if I went into green. Because if I went into green, I think I would mostly have, like, a Briar Pack Alpha, and, like, several Kessig Recluses, which is fine, but that just gives me a lot of 4-drops, so I think here is a fine place to be. And I guess Executioner's Hood is probably better in this deck. Ooh, and a last pick Curse Mixed Fortunes. Alright, well, maybe I draft some sick Curse deck, right? I've been wanting to try that for a while, but it's just never felt right. Alright, so we get an Undead Alchemist. This pack is not very good. I think the pick here is going to be Crossway Vampire or, like, Harvest Pyre, and I think it's just going to be Crossway Vampire. He's good with, like, Erdwald Ripper, and, yeah, I mean, we might get, like, Neonates or whatever. I think he's a little bit better than Kessig Wolf. So, yeah, I'm going to take him. And I'm also pretty heavy on red anyways. Oh, yes! I love it when this happens. I love getting past Devil's Play. It happens so much, and it's just so exciting when you do, and you're in, like, basically mono red. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so this deck is, the plan with this deck, you see, is to turn some creatures sideways and then get you to about half life and then burn your face off with fire. With a lot of fire. Yeah, okay, so that made me real happy to be in red. Like, oh my god, Devil's Play is insane. And I guess this guy's a little bit awkward in the curve, so maybe... Again, I don't really want to be, like, red-green. Yeah, I'm happy with the Highborn Ghoul, because if I get some good black cards, which I probably will, black is a good color, most of the black commons are, very good. Yeah, I think it's a good place to be. Yeah, and I am talking about that as I get past a Falconwrath Noble, which is the pick here. This guy's just the bonkers, and he's really good in this deck, too, because he, again, just takes a lot of damage, at someone's face. Alright. Noble it is, and I might even wheel a card out of that pack, like Trib and Diregraph Ghoul would both be very, very good pickups. Like, I really like Diregraph Ghoul in decks like this, because it's just another turn 1 play that's very hard for them to deal with. So here's some nice white cards, but I think I'm just going to take a Ghoul Razor. Like, I have a Highborn Ghoul. Yeah, it's Ghoul Razor, though. I mean, I might get some more good zombie cards, and, for the time being, I just kind of want some, like, beaters and creatures. And this guy's very awkward on the mana, so that's kind of unfortunate that these, cards are all in the same deck. But if I stay strictly red-black, I think it'll be okay. It'll be harder to play the black cards than the red cards. Here's a foil Bloodcrazed Neonate or a Markov Patrician. This is kind of interesting, because generally, when I see a foil card, like, this may seem like a very silly rule, but if I'm having trouble deciding on a pick, which here I'm considering Neonate or Markov Patrician, I like to go with the foil card because, in general, I've noticed that always seems to pay off. It has nothing to do with it being foil, but just, like, indicator. I think Markov Patrician's very good, though, but I don't know. At the same time, I'm just going to try going with that rule because, again, I want to test it. It's on recording now. I'm just going to test it. See if this ends up being better. I guess I'll take a Night Revelers. There's nothing else I really want in here. And Claustrophobia is quite good, but Night Revelers it is. Okay, and another Bloodcrazed Neonate. That seems, like, fine, though, because, again, I have the Erdwald Rippers and the... Yeah, oh, and wow, I didn't even see this in the pack. I was looking at my deck. Okay, yeah. Windmill Slam. Super late Geist Flame. This card is just bonkers with, like, Erdwald Ripper and see, oh, wow, that's hilarious. This makes me really glad I took the Neonate. Well, I guess this is also very good with Markov Patrician because you gain life, but with Neonates, this card's nuts because a lot of the time you can play Neonate, they'll play out a guy, and then you just kill their guy and get in there, and then they actually have a serious problem because if these get in here, they're like once early in the game, they're very hard to stop. And now it's a Harvest Pyre or a Vampiric Fury, and that's actually kind of interesting. Vampiric Fury, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? I have 8 vampires. I don't know how I feel about Vampiric Fury. I think I'm just going to take a Harvest Pyre, but I might wheel a Vampiric Fury, so that's something to keep in mind. Here I'll just take a Village Cannibals. I actually like this card, and it tends to go very late. Yeah. Alrighty. That's what I'm talking about. Pitchburn Devils is rad in this deck, because, I don't know, you can, like, Blood Feud it and one of their creatures, bolt them in the face for 3. Yeah, but I mean, just more, like, straight burn to the face seems like exactly what this deck wants, because this is going to be basically like a mono red, super aggressive, like, you know, beat you to death kind of deck. Which I like. This is an aggressive format, so... And I mean, I may not even play Ghoul Raiser or Highborn Ghoul because they're actually not going to be all that aggressive. I'm going to play black for Fires of Undeath and Falcon Wrath Noble and probably like Village Cannibals, but this guy isn't even that good, and Highborn Ghoul is good, but he's going to be real awkward on the mana, especially with all these double red cards, because you can't go like turn 2 Highborn Ghoul into a turn 3 like any of these guys, and you kind of want to. But yeah, black Noble is, you know, insane. And in this kind of deck, he's really good, too, because you can, you know, Blood Feud with Noble out, like, several creatures die. Yeah. With just a bunch of removal, he's good. Alright, waiting on this pack. Wow, I actually have a lot of playables. Okay, so here I'm just going to take an Endless Ranks of the Dead. Like, you never know. And Typhoid Rats is fine. I'm not going to play it in this deck, I don't think, but Typhoid Rats is actually a fine card. Yeah, mono, or not mono red, I keep saying that, like, it's not quite mono red, but, like, it's gonna be pretty red. So, yeah, unless I, you know, get something to want to push me more into black or something, but, yeah. Wow. Slam! Alright, well, that's exciting. This pack is also very good, so I might wheel something. I would love to wheel Moan of the Unhallowed. I don't think it's gonna happen, that's my favorite uncommon in the set, but, Olivia. Whee! Okay, so, I'm actually pretty sure that this deck went from being, like, good to being perfectly in the right colors, like, nuts, mythic, rare, one of the... Yes. 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 This is exactly what this deck wants, because it's, you know, 5 damage to the face or a nice removal spell. Again, I might wheel something here. I might wheel, like, a Watch Keep, which... to be completely honest, might not even see play. I don't know how I feel about that yet. Here's an Ashmouth Hound. This is exactly what I want in this deck, actually. I want a few more aggressive, like, 2-drops, and this guy's good with, like, Geist Flame. He's good with all sorts of burn spells, because, like, they'll block with, like, you know, a 2-3, like your Ashmouth Hound, so they'll trade, but then you know, deal 1 damage and fires it, and then it doesn't actually trade with your guy, and you just got, like, a free, you know, kill or whatever. Or like a Geist Flame even. It works a lot better like on a, you know, just a 2-drop that they were going to block with. I was merely using the Fires of Undeath example, you know, because I have 2 of them and I only have 1 Geist Flame. So, this deck makes me pretty happy. Like, if I get a bunch more playables, I actually might really consider just going, like, mono red and maybe playing, like... I mean, I guess I want to play Swamps for Olivia, though. Okay, maybe not mono red. Just not a whole lot of Swamps. There's lots of red in this deck. I don't want to dilute that too much. And a Walking Corpse. Yeah, this is another reason to be a little more into black. And I guess it is possible I could play Highborn Ghoul. Like, if I'm just strictly 2 colors, I don't think the mana would be that bad. Like, I'd play a lot of Swamps and, you know, less other things. Here's another Ghoul Raiser. This kind of makes me maybe want to play these. But, again, if I'm really, you know, high on playables, I don't think I need to play double black cards. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess her mind control ability is double black. But the thing is, her red ability is actually better than her black ability, I think. And so, generally when I've played Olivia, it's been in more, like black dominant decks, so you end up using her mind control ability more because you can only ping like 1 or 2 things a turn, but you can mind control something because you have a lot of black mana but not a lot of red. So in the red deck, maybe you don't need a whole lot of black mana because you just kill everything. You don't need to actually mind control, and that's a lot safer than mind controlling things too. Anyways, I'm just gonna take a Riot Devils. But, so I think that might be okay, actually. Like, I might not need to play double black cards, because I don't necessarily even have to use her double black ability. I just need to cast her, and have red mana available to just kill everything. Because also, she gets enormous, too. If you, just, like, kill things primarily, she can kill them in, like, a couple turns. Like, I've definitely played her on, like, 6 mana before, pinged something, then they pass the turn, ping, kill a bunch of, like, kill all their blockers, get in there, and then you win the next turn, because when you untap, you can just kill everything in the way, and you hit them for lethal, even if they were at, like, 20. Yeah, so this is pretty exciting, jeez. Man, I think this deck went very well for me. And here, there's a bump. I'm really not going to be playing this card. I think I'm just going to take like a Gatstaff Shepherd because I don't need playables at this point. So at this point I might just try and like, you know, kneecap other people's decks. Because yeah, I certainly don't need, you know, more playables in here. If anything, I'm revealing like 28 cards. Yeah. Alright then. And I might not play, like, Nearhe Stalker or Night Revelers, like, neither of those cards are insane. I mean, I guess, like, a Vampiric Fury would be real good in this deck, because now I have a ton of vampires. Wow, there's a foil Spider Spawning and a Nightbird's Clutches, but I would be tempted to take this, but I think Nightbird's Clutches is actually very good in this deck. Not that it would necessarily get played even, but I actually think I can deal with the Spider Spawning, because at the point in the game where they do Spider Spawning, I'll focus on the face burn plan, which I think is going to be very successful in this deck. It has like a Brimstone Volley and a Geist Flame and double Fires of Undeath and like, I mean, I guess a Falcon Wrath Noble kind of, and like a Pitchburn Devils and like a Devil's Play. That's a lot of things that go at the face for a lot of damage. And also, it's not like this deck is slow either and just trying to use that to like kill them. It's like this deck is very aggressive and fast, and then, yeah, once they are bloodied and mangled. Wow, so Crossway Vampire, foil into the Maw of Hell, or Markov Patrician. I think I'm going to take Crossway Vampire, and here's my reasoning here. I have 2 Erdwald Rippers and 2 Bloodcrazed Neonates. It's also red, and I think it's better than Into the Maw of Hell. Like, despite that foil rule I was discussing, that's only when the pick is very close, but I think here Crossway Vampire is actually much better, so I think I'm just going to take it. Fear of the Bitten is not the card I wanted. I'm going to take Lumberknot, because I really hate playing against this card. Lumberknot really bothers me. It just makes the game so, like, just edgy and not fun and, like, stupidly racy because they're just on the defensive, and, yeah, no. Not really a fan. I guess now it's time for that bump in the night. Alright, so, yeah, I think this is a pretty good place to be. And, again, this deck is just, like, hyper-aggressive, but that's totally fine. I don't know if I'm going to play Nightbird's Clutches, but again, I think I'm going to cut these double black cards, because I would ideally like to not play that much black. Get that guy out of here. I do not like Feral Ridgewolf. Okay, cool. Well, so I think this deck is very good. I think it's going to turn some things sideways and be happy about it. I kind of wish maybe I'd taken that Vampiric Fury, because I think that actually would have been really good in this deck. With all the vampires, like, as a really good combat trick that could potentially just completely change the game. Like a better than average combat trick, but I think I'm fine going with the Harvest Pyre, because I thought I wouldn't have this many playables. Yeah, no, regardless, I think I'm in a very good place with my deck. So I might play the Harvest Pyre. I'm going to put in the Neonates and whatnot. Put in this nice Brimstone Volley. Put in these nice double Fires of Undeath. One of which is foil, of course. Put in a Pyreheart Wolf. Maybe a Riot Devils. I don't know how many playables I'm going to have. Dubs Crossway Vampire, of course. Dubs Erdwald Ripper. Rack with Madness I'll probably play. Or Nearhe Stalker. I'll probably play that too. I'm not sure if I want to yet or not, but I might. And Night Revelers. And Okay, so I do want to play this Falcon Wrath Noble, and I do want to, I think, play this Walk... Well, wait a minute. No, I have to play black for Olivia, though, but I was thinking maybe I could play it a little bit higher on the curve, but no. No. So this would be 23. I could definitely play, I could definitely play, like, Village Cannibals, like, in place of one of these other cards. I could play this Blood Feud, I guess. That doesn't seem that good, though, and... No, I think I kind of like this. Like, I do kind of want to play this Night Revelers and this Nearheath Stalker. Like, well... I guess I don't totally have to. I could play, like, Nightbird's Clutches and cut, like, maybe a Nearheath Stalker. So I think Night Revelers is a little bit better in the aggressive deck. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Alright, yeah, I do think I want to play this Nightbird's Clutches, even though it's probably the worst card in my deck. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play it, because it works so well with a lot of my cards. But, yeah, so I think this is the deck I'm going to go ahead and go with, and, yeah, thank you for watching.